What's going on, guys? This is Ripper back finally with my Pitfall Any tutorial part 2. If you missed part 1, be sure to check it out in the description. Apart from that, let's have some fun. So now we come to probably one of the defining tricks of this run, and that is what we call torch skips. So between this and another skip called Early Geyser, the two of them combined cut this run by probably 30 minutes in total. It is ridiculous how much time these two skips save. So how to perform torch skip? Well, there is two parts to torch skip. The first part is in Altar of Huataka, which we are here now, and the second part is in Battle Bridge. This is a tough skip. If you are going to grind any skip in this run, it will be this. If you can get this down, and I know I said this with Bit and Binders. Bit and Binders is something you can get around with using Smash Strike. You cannot get around this trick using any other method. This is torch skip. It is the defining trick of the run, and I would just say learn this trick first if you're going to do this run. But how do you do it? Well, let's go through it. So I'm going to do the hard method first, because the hard method's always the one to learn first. Make your way over to this tree, and there is a kind of a funny seam in this tree, and it's about here. So run into this seam, press roll, and then jump. And if you're lucky, you'll clip onto the tree here. You can do another jump. We double jump on top of the tree. From this tree, we need to jump over to the tree directly opposite. You want to aim for about here, because that's the spot close to the tree. Jump over to there, and unfortunately, I didn't get it that time. This jump is a lot trickier than it looks. Luckily, we can always just reset again. And there we go. We got on the tree. Now from here, it's a bit tricky. You cannot see where you're jumping. You want to jump over that wall and land on there. So if you see the wall just above me there, you need to get over there or you're going to clip back in bounds. But jump too far and you will clip way out of bounds. And you don't want to be down there. That's death down there. From here, make your way over to here, and you want to jump through the right wall here. It is completely transparent, don't worry. And then you just make your way to Battle Bridge. So just show you that guys again, I'll show you what's called a ball clip here, and these can be really inconsistent sometimes. So basically, you run where you want to clip, you press crouch once, and then that puts Harry in a state, and it's similar to Smash Strike. It puts him in a state where his hitbox is slightly clipped into the tree. This enables you to jump up the tree. So the second method makes the first part a bit easier. If you're struggling with the ball clip, jump into this vine, jump into this vine, but instead of going and doing what we did before, we're going to turn the vine around, forward, jump onto this log here. From this log, we can make our way over to here, and we can be on the same spot as where we ball clipped to. And as before, make our way over to here, do that tricky jump to there, roll around, jump through the transparent wall, and over to Battle Bridge. And it should be mentioned, the reason why we're skipping this is because without torch, impossible to get past these spider webs. Now, would you believe me if I said that that was the easy part of torch skip? Unfortunately, that is the truth. So Battle Bridge starts off quite unassuming. We make our way over here, use the movement to get up here, make our way across these bridges. With here, just punch on these bridges. Rolling is much slower over short distances anyway. Just make sure you don't rising strike, because I've lost a few runs to that. Always fun. Now, there are two ways you can do this, and I'm going to show you the better way first. We use this bridge. We want to jump on this coconut tree here. So you can jump a bit later than you think, and unfortunately, we're going to miss that one. Oh, that was a little tight, but that is the way you do that. I will show you guys that once more. But what if I miss the tree? Well, there are a couple of backups. So you see this tree here. If you do not have Smash Strike, this backup can be very annoying. You want to ball clip around about here, and it's very tricky. There is a spot for this that I don't know, but it's around about here. There we go. So the ball clip spot's about there, and then we can get on top of this tree. Alternatively, if you have Smash Strike, Makes it a lot easier because the spot becomes a lot more lenient when you have Smash Strike. Again, with how Smash Strike works, you want to double jump, wait till he's in a kind of standing animation. If you get the one with no sound, you've done it correctly. Now, what have I told you? That was still not the hard bit. Yeah, torch skip is tough, guys. So from this tree, we want to jump over to this rock, up to this rock, and up to this rock. Now again, there are a few different ways, but we need to get our way on top of the rock wall there. Right on top there. So first I'll show you the, let's go with the world record holders method, or old method. We jump over here, and we can jump up there. Now I hate this way, so I don't do it this way. That is the slow way, but the easier way, because there's no rising strikes. The fast way is to jump left, is left method. And we want to jump up on that seam up there. Fortunately, we need to do it with the rising strike. But we can do it like that. And I missed the seam there as well. You can watch a few different runs, see how people get up here. At the end of the day, we just want to be up on top of this rock wall. However you do it is completely up to your personal preference. So once we're on top of this rock wall, we get to the quote-unquote hard bit. Jump up on this rock. And let's be very careful here. Jump onto this rock. Double jump onto this rock. Now the hard part. So as you can see, and I can use free camera mode here, we've got a very, very skinny piece of geometry here. We need to land on this, right in the center here, on this little corner. That's where we're aiming. So what do we achieve by completing this trick? Well, we dodge another spider web. By doing torch skip, we need to skip 2 spider webs in the game, and unfortunately, doing these incredibly complex tricks is the only way to do so. So again, this is the trick to learn if you want to do runs. So I'm going to give this an attempt. Haven't done a run in a while, so we'll see how we go. Jump, jump, jump. And you can walk on top of this wall for a bit, and then you can jump over there. So I know I just made that look very, very, very easy. It is a lot trickier than it looks. I would recommend, and we've reloaded the save state here, giving this a go a few times. The only reason I'm okay at it is because, again, I've done this 1,000 times. And I think I may have almost missed it there. I think this really freaks people out a lot. And people think they haven't got it when they actually have. The trick is, the first jump is the tricky one. If you can land that first jump consistently, you have torch skip down. Because the second jump is a lot more lenient than it looks. So jump, jump, land on here. Unfortunately, we didn't get it that time. We have to reset. So it's all about that first jump. So just because torch skip is such a highly requested trick to cover, I'm going to go over it in post here, just as a bit of a slow motion. So let's start here. We've got Harry jumping. So you're running off here, running off, and this is probably, that's too early a jump. You got to run for just a bit more because when he lands here, we're going to pause here. You want to be under more his left elbow there. I'm half a foot short there kind of thing in real terms. So you just want to be a bit further and you'll get the trick every time. And then obviously you'll fall off. So you just want to be a slight bit forward. Just want to make your jump ever so slightly later. So that is essentially the trick to it. First jump is the key. If you can get that down, you're well on your way to performing this trick consistently. So what I'd recommend, line up your camera, nice and easy like that. Jump nice and late. And once you're on here, you can actually walk for a bit. I think the second jump is the one that freaks people out. They think, oh God, I've got the first jump. Panic, panic, panic. Once you hit the second jump, Harry can walk on that ledge for a fair amount of time before you do the last jump over to where he's standing now. So don't be freaked out by this trick. It's all about the first jump, is what I'd say to you. Yes, it is tricky, but once you get it in your head where to jump, it's not as tricky as it seems. So we've got to complete this trick now. Well, it's quite easy once you complete it. Make sure you jump over this rock. Do not fall back in bounds there. Jump right over the end of the wall. You'll fall into this almost pseudo out of bounds area. Simply walk back and walk forwards and you'll clip it to Mama Ollie Tower. Okay guys, so next up is Mama Ollie Tower. So this is a bit of a tricky level with some tricks and Harry's doing a little dance there. So we're going to go into the water and we're just going to swim as fast as we can. Your mashing skills don't have to be really good to dodge the crocs. As long as you keep moving and don't bump walls, you'll be fine. So you see I took a bit of a wide path there, so I didn't bump into this platform here, because if you bump into it, as the croc gets you, you are going all the way back to the start. So the intention way to do this part is to jump on the croc, but if you go through a little far down and just do some good jumping, you can generally make it. Easy swing up here. Easy swing up here. The jumps are actually very lenient. You don't even need to swing on that one. And try not to grab that ledge, but a bit of a shortcut up there. We're going to make our way around to a bit of a hard skip here, and one a lot of people have trouble with. And that's the one where it lets you dodge the tower. So there's no real name for this trick. I just refer to it as Mama Olo Tower Skip, I suppose. Not really a name for it. So basically what we want to do is we want to get around the tower onto that lower section there. Now normally in the game this requires you to actually go in, flick the switch to rotate the tower, losing you about 30 seconds. Now, if you don't feel you can get this trick, you're having a lot of trouble with it, and you feel like copping the 30 odd seconds it takes to rotate the tower, by all means do it. All it is costing you is 30 seconds. It's not going to kill a run or anything like that. So I'm going to give this a crack, and what we want to do is walk around the tower, and there is a specific timing to this. I'll see if I can get it first try, and it's a little bit tricky, so we want to walk out, and I was a bit late there. So you want to walk out for about 2 steps, and I'm also going to show you the reset. So we're going to let this croc eat us, and just follow what the game says, back and forth, and up we go, and he'll put us back on the last place we put step foot on, which was here. So we're going to give this another crack. Let's try it again, a couple of steps, and time that double jump late, and then we got it. So that's what you want to do. We're going to reset the save state there. You want to time the double jump late because we're falling so far. Double jumping late gets you just that extra little bit of horizontal momentum. So I mentioned in part 1, if you've watched it, go back and watch it if you haven't, of course. I mentioned that Harry can actually walk a few steps over air when he goes over an edge. Now this is exactly where you want to use that. If you just jump from here, you're not making it. You've kind of got to get a weird thing, get right up against the tower, get your camera angle, and see how he just jumps out over the air there, and you can double jump. Stick to the tower, not too close. It's a really thing you got to get a feel for. You just got to get a feel for this one. I really have no other tricks to it other than just walk over like that, double jump nice and late, and just stick to the tower, aim for the left side, closer side there, and you should have no trouble after a little bit of practice. So what we do then is just simply roll jump our way over to Jungle Trail. Bit of a kick up there. Those porcupines generally don't cause you any trouble, but whatever. So Jungle Trail, while not the hardest level in the game, is definitely up there and definitely one that has a lot of tricks to it. So I'm about to tell you some of those now. Let's go forward in the level. We got a few pitfalls to get over. They shouldn't present you with too much trouble there. And this one that you can walk, you can actually walk a bit over that one. So you'll notice the thing opened, the pitfall opened, and I was walking on air. So as long as your reactions are good, you can walk halfway across it. As soon as it opens, just jump. Easy as that, easy as that. You shouldn't get in by that one. So then we come to the Howler Monkey Pit. Now, this is a bit RNG, but at the end of the day, if you get hit a few times in here, not the end of the world. Not going to matter too much in your run. So the optimal path is to the right of the first Howler Monkey, between the 2 stones. They go to the left of the second Howler Monkey. And let's see if we can get Harry in look mode here. Harry? Yes? So we want to go follow through there, through the middle of the 2 rocks there, and you want to thread the needle of the last 2 Howler Monkeys. That's the optimal route. You can kind of take a bit of a wider berth if you're not confident and you think you're going to hit a Howler Monkey. End of the day, you just want to get through as fast as you can. So let's get on a crack here, right of that guy, dodge that guy, and try and thread the needle between these 2 guys. Unfortunately got hit there. Now to stop the coconuts, you just bump up against this wall, and the coconuts stop instantly. Quickest way, jump on this rock here to give you a bit of a boost on a rising strike. Easy as that. So let's move on now. We want to just go here, release your crouch here, so you're not in crouch, and you just want to kick over here. So this is the first explorer we're going to grab. We need these idols later to grab Breakdance. So that's the reason why we grabbed this guy. Just happens to be nice and convenient 5 idols we can get right now. So now we come to the quote-unquote hard part of Jungle Trail, because unfortunately without Torch, we're not going to be able to see a lot in this dark room. So I actually have a setup for this. You are free to steal it. You're free to come up with your own setup. There is no perfect way through this. At the end of the day, you're going to be feeling around in the dark and going from your memory of what's going to happen. So what there is in this room, there is, from memory, and this is all from memory, I don't usually look at this. So there is a section of land, extensive, small gap, another small section, and another small gap. The only visual cue you really get is if you look right at the end of the tunnel. You can't actually even see it, but you can see it if I rotate it. You can see a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. You can use the columns in front of that, and they actually provide a good visual landmark. Now, if you want to go in here with torch and actually have a look around and maybe figure out a way through it with torch, now that might be a good way to go about it. Who knows? But you can use my setup if you want. So I'm going to show you my setup right now, and hopefully you guys can either follow it along or come up with your own one. Go nuts. So I get on top of this rock, double jump, and I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, punch once, big jump, then 1, 2, another punch, and then you can tell by the last 2 columns there, those last 2 columns are right at the end of the gap, and that's how I get my visual cue. So that's how I do it. Feel free to use it, feel free to come up with your own. We're going to head on to Flooded Courtyard and Monkey Temple Skip.